Hello world, hope everybody is healthy, safe, and well. As you can see, I'm not the fine young stallion that y'all are used to seeing. That is my daughter Harp, aka our producer for the day behind the camera. Pause this video. If you're not subscribed currently, press that bell notification down below and let's get this thing started.
Okay, babe, go.
So today we have my segment of from a man's perspective. I guess it was mostly ladies. Y'all had y'all's questions and wanted to know what the guys would usually think from everything, you know, from, like I said, our perspective. So here we go. First question.
I'm back here too, guys. I'm behind the camera today answering or asking the questions. Question numero uno. What would cause a man to change his mind about marrying his girlfriend or fiance? And this is somebody who decided and then like what would make him change his mind from originally deciding?
From originally deciding for somebody to change their mind, it would kind of take a lot. Maybe just to show him something different, but don't go in it like thinking, oh, I'm gonna change his mind. Just if he says like, all right, I'm not looking for this, then you just have to be in your head like, okay, this isn't what I want it to be. But if you decide to go on with that, then cool. And then as it goes on, as he changes his mind, he'll let you know that, you know, this is, you know, I didn't expect this, and I'm feeling that this can be a little more.
But I may be wrong.
My wife has a little.
I have a question. I may be wrong, misinterpreting, but this is under the impression that someone has decided to marry someone and then they back out. That's what I think the question is.
Oh.
What would make him change his mind? Like, and in my opinion, I'm thinking like maybe the woman did something or showed him something that he has never seen before,
right,
or he got scared. I don't know. But this is what is something in your opinion that would cause a man, like if you proposed to me, mm-hmm, we were engaged, right, for longer than 4 days. Right. And then you were like, oh.
Yes, okay, so that's an even easier one to answer. If he backed out of an engagement or, you know, anything that was like big and decided to just change his mind, then 9 times out of 10, he just saw something that he wasn't ready for. Like, okay, this isn't like
what I thought.
This is what I thought it was gonna be. Something in the personality, something in the way that you know, the everyday life. It could have been anything like just leaving things around. I don't know. It could have been anything, but at the moral of the story is he saw something that he realized that he didn't want to be like a forever thing. So 9 times out of 10, that was that.
Okay, and I'm going to reword these questions, guys, because I know how my husband thinks. So I'm going to word them in a way where he will answer the way that you guys want him to answer. But
they're still going to be real.
Yeah, but I know how you think, so I'm trying to word it in a way that you'll understand the question.
Gotcha.
The way that they want you to.
Gotcha.
Next question is, how do you bring up dating for marriage with intention without sounding aggressive?
I think that's easy from a woman's point. Well, coming from a man, from a woman's point, I think it's easy. Just be straight up forward at the beginning. Like, you could easily just be casual, like, okay, like ask them, okay, what they want from it, but then and when they ask you, just tell them like, I'm looking for, you know, for something that's gonna be
leading to something.
Yeah, something that's leading to something, and then that tells us everything we need to know as a man, because we know something that's okay. You want something that's leading to something that means marriage and everything else. We know what that means. So from there, we'll decide if we're ready for that. Like, okay, that's cool. Let's keep this going. But if not, hopefully the man will say that if he's not playing any games, then he'll say like, that's not something I'm looking for, and y'all won't have to waste each other's time. Mm-hmm. But 9 times out of 10, that will get you there. Like, just letting them know straight up, off rip, like, I want this to go somewhere.
And then allow them to make that decision.
Exactly. Allow the man to make that decision. Don't. And once again, the worst thing you can do is, I can change his mind. Don't do that.
It doesn't work, is what he keeps trying to tell y'all.
That's the bottom line every time. It doesn't work.
Next question is, why do guys claim you but don't apply the pressure?
Once again, easy. Y'all want straight up answers, so that's what y'all gonna get. he don't want nobody else talking to you. But like I said, he
But
may
he's
not be
not
ready.
ready.
He may not be ready, but he
That's
don't want nobody else
childish.
talking. It doesn't matter.
It's
Y'all
the right
came
answer.
here. Y'all came here from the men's perspective, so that's what y'all gonna get. Don't try to dive in and try to figure out what's what and why we think the way we do. I don't personally say it, but from a man's perspective, he doesn't want nobody else talking to you.
But he's not ready for you.
He's not ready, but he doesn't want anybody else talking to you.
That is ridiculous. Y'all are crazy.
Y'all asked for it, y'all getting it.
Where do men learn how to be a husband, and what are your influences? You don't.
I mean, you can have different, like I say, depending on like their, like how they were brought up and how they were raised and everything. Maybe it was in home if they had a dad there that was like there all the time. Well, we're talking about being a husband, so they're all the time like showing love to their mom, they're showing love to the kids, brothers and sisters, all that. I personally didn't
Who
have
were your
a dad
top three?
when I was.
Oh, finish what you were saying. Sorry.
Well, I personally didn't have a dad growing up. Well, my dad passed at 12, and even before that, he wasn't like in the household. But personally, I just learned from what I didn't see. So the things I didn't see from my mom that I thought that my mom should have, and just honestly, even from TV, movies, like, oh, this is how, not like the cheesy, corny things, like, oh, this, breakfast should be made every day. Like, that's not the unrealistic things, but just the real things of what I saw, and just even learning from growing up, just seeing other people's parents and how they were, like I said, the realistic things. But it can come from, honestly, anywhere. Like I said, from my point of view, I know Tim was about to ask me like my top 3 people. Honestly, I can't really say.
And they can be TV or in person.
Yeah, I mean,
Uncle
since
Phil?
she threw TV out there, I gotta say Uncle Phil. She threw TV, so I gotta say Uncle Phil, But for real, other than that, like in real life, I didn't really, growing up, I was the youngest of the family, so I wasn't really around. My family is originally from Virginia. I grew up in Texas. I wasn't around a lot of my family, but just growing up, I saw the things that my mom didn't have around. So
you
that
said
was
your coaches showed you some stuff.
Yeah, coaches like from basketball, AAU, high school. It wasn't really from a husband perspective. It was more from a father perspective from them, because they were the ones that was like kind of guiding me and raising me and trying to pushing me into the right direction. So as far as a husband perspective, I just kind of picked up things on my own. But from a father perspective, I got things from like my coaches and everybody else just trying to push me along the way.
Love that. Why do men say they're intimidated by women who have their own?
All right, let's see. I'm trying to do it from a average man's perspective and not my perspective.
Because he don't feel that way, right,
I really don't. I love a woman that has her own, aka my baby. But from a general men's perspective, I think just for the masculine man, he needs to be in charge, and the ego, like he has to be the number one provider, the sole provider of the household, or if it's not even a household yet, just a sole provider of the relationship. He has to make the big bucks, bringing home the bacon.
Way? You don't know.
Just the masculinity, ego thing, society. I'll say society. Society would probably be the number one. Society tells you that men have to be the providers. Your woman can't make more than you. So I would say society. Society is like the biggest one.
Advice for how to help a new dad still feel valued and not pushed aside. I think you should share your experience and then answer the question.
My advice is, well, I'll give my advice first.
Okay.
And then.
Okay.
So.
It's your video.
It is. This is my segment, people. But my advice first would just be patience for a new dad, because especially if the mom is breastfeeding, they're going to be the ones that the kids go to first or even want around first. Honestly, for the first however long, Harper
just
basically didn't want anything to do with me. It was all mom.
He said she doesn't even like me.
Yeah, she just always wanted mommy.
He was really hurt. He was sad.
Anytime I would try to hold her, she would like cry because she wanted to go to her mom.
And it hurt your feelings, be honest.
It did. Like, I mean, well, it made me feel some type of way. I wouldn't go as far as to say like hurt my feelings, but like just some type of way. Like, I mean, I'm your dad too. Like, I'm here too. I'm a part of this too. But she wasn't like, she didn't want to have nothing to do with me because I didn't have the milk. So honestly, patience is a big part of it because now, 9 times out of 10,
opens her
she
eyes
wants,
and she says, Dada?
Like she even calls to me like saying Dada. So that's when I like, it changes. It changes. It definitely gets better. So that's something you have to look forward to. So there you go. Patience is the number one.
That was another question. How can I show my spouse support more, just in general?
Just in general, showing your spouse support more. I really think that just depends on the roles that y'all have. But from a day-to-day of me and Twin, of our pretty much kind of every day, she'll wake up usually, she'll get up usually before me. I'll usually be up, but she'll get up and get her day started usually before me. So my role would be kind of taking care of Zuri, depending on who's here. If I'm the one that's looking after Zuri for the day, then making sure she's good while Twin is getting her hair done and everything, getting ready for the day. She wakes up early, get her bottle ready, or if Harper wakes up, then usually Twin or Shayma will be here and get her ready. So my job is to put on the TV whenever she wants cartoons or her gospel.
Someone's asking, how can she as a wife support her husband more?
Oh, I had it the other way around. My bad, people. So
what things could I do or do I do that support you in a way, or that, even if I don't do them, maybe I'll learn something in this video?
From a woman's way of supporting their man, just whatever his career is or whatever he is interested in, just show support or ask about it or show a little enthusiasm whenever he comes and says like, this happened today. This is something I've been trying to do. And
care about what he cares about.
Yeah. Care about what he cares about. Or even if he doesn't tell you and you see that he like says something about it, like a lot of times I will post some things that has things to do with basketball that I didn't even tell Twin. It's just somebody sent me, so I reposted it. That was about me, and she'll repost it. And that would mean a lot, so just care about what he cares about, bottom line.
And ask questions. Because I remember, and I'm only adding this because ever since we started dating, you emphasized the fact that I never assumed stuff. I always asked you questions when I thought something. That
is a very big, that's probably top 10.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Yeah, you emphasized that.
Don't assume. Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Don't assume, ask questions. So that also goes into that. If you want to know anything, just ask.
Is it a turn off to men for a woman to make the first move?
Once again, this is generally speaking. I'll give the general. Well, first I'll give my opinion, and then I'll give the general opinion. I say no. It is not a turn off for a woman to make the first move. Just don't be aggressive with it. Like, yo, what's up? I like you. I want you. What's about to happen now? Like, don't be aggressive.
I used to slide people's DM and just send my number.
That works.
And it worked. It was like a subtle,
you can be subtle with it. Just send a number like, hey, this is my number if you want to use it. This is where you find me. You can be subtle with it, be creative with it. Like I said, just don't be aggressive with it. Like, but at the same time, I'll say I don't have a problem with it. I definitely don't. And from what I can think of, generally as men, I don't think we have a problem with it. Not that I can think of. But like I say, just don't be aggressive. But other than that, I don't think we have a problem with women making the first move.
What are your thoughts on proposal deadlines or ultimatums? This is a hard one.
It's not really that hard.
Okay.
So for me, like I said, once again, from me personally, then the general perspective. For me, I don't think I really deal well with ultimatums.
You don't.
And
petty.
Just
my husband is extremely petty.
I was about to say I'm kind of petty. She said extremely. I'll say kind of. So extremely. I've had a ultimatum like years back when I was in college. Not like a marriage thing, just to like,
do this or
do
this.
Yeah, it was like either you gonna be my girlfriend or that's it. There's nothing. And I was just like, all right, well, I guess that was it. It was cool getting to know you. So that was that. But as far as like a marriage thing, putting a time limit, I mean, I can understand if you put like a couple years on it.
I think stating your desires and giving an ultimatum are two different things.
Oh, for sure. Like a desire to say...
Because you knew I wanted to be married. You knew I wanted to be married by a certain time, but I never said either do this or I'm out.
Yeah, like a desire to be married and be like, okay, I want to be married, but okay, it's been a year. Once again, we're not talking about us on this one because even I didn't see what I was going to do coming. I didn't expect it. It just happened. So,
got him.
So even like a desire to get married is completely different from an ultimatum, like putting a time stamp on it.
Yeah.
You could say, I want to be married, but you don't be like, oh, it's coming up on a year. Like you either
do this or
you do this or I'm out. But
I
can understand
like
you
get
around to 5,
like,
you kind of know like where things are going. Not saying that it's gonna happen. I mean, there's relationships that go past 5 years, but not saying it's gonna happen there. But around 5 years, I think you would know.
Yeah.
But like I said, an ultimatum.
And that's at this age.
Yeah, that's at this age.
Because we know couples who have been together 30. Younger. Yeah, exactly.
So we pushing 30 and
you've experienced enough to know
we've experienced life. We're not talking about anybody that's like 23. You know, y'all just getting started for real. But yeah, so like maybe it depends on the man. Maybe an ultimatum might work, but coming from my point of view,
because this is your video.
This is my segment. Y'all are here with me right now. Go ahead and click that like button. But yeah, so coming from my point of view, I wouldn't suggest the ultimatum. Just feel out where y'all are at and try to figure out like, well, yeah, just have real conversations. At the end of the day, you have a real conversation. There's really nothing to lose. If you feel like, oh, I don't want to say this because then it'll be over.
Then that's your sign.
Yeah, like, what was the point? Are you going to wait until y'all are like engaged or married to have that conversation and then it's over and then y'all went through all of this and wasted all this time? Embarrassment. So, yeah, just have a conversation right off the rip.
What is your opinion on a long distance marriage? And I think that you should approach this from how we feel as a couple, but we also have friends who have been faced with certain things that have had, you know what I mean? Like, think about both ways.
I'll do both ways, as us as a couple, and then other friends as their couples, and then also before I got with JaLisa. Mm-hmm. So, before I got with JaLisa, I was kind of like split into two, because I did play overseas for a while, so I was also single and was like, I was still wanting to be in a relationship, but as I was overseas, I was torn because I was like, I would want my family to be with me, but at the same time, if you know anything about the overseas life, you have to really just
uproot your entire
uproot and completely start over. As in, find, if you have kids, you gotta find childcare, schools,
grocery stores, somewhere to live.
Literally all the above, nannies, and everybody is speaking the different language because you're either in Europe or in Asia, so you're not speaking the same language. So it was like, one part is like, I want my family with me. The other part is, I don't want them to have to deal with this, and I'm going to be on the road a lot of the time, so I'm not even going to be here to help. So, I don't know, really just a long distance relationship as far as being across the world from each other, that's just something that y'all are gonna have to talk about and discuss as y'all are like at the beginning stages, or if you know that this is a possibility. If somebody's already overseas and y'all are talking to them, this is a possibility, or a very strong possibility if they're already overseas.
With good money to go overseas, where would your head be at?
Well, that's kind of easy.
In schools,
that's kind of easy because from where I am at my life and where we are as a family, if I got a call with good money, then I would probably just tell my agents, which I have many a times, but they always come back to me just because they know that they have to just to propose it to me. But I'll probably tell them that, no, I'm good. but everybody isn't.
Which he has gotten calls before.
Yeah, so everybody isn't our situation. So like I said, that would have to be something that y'all discuss, like thoroughly discuss. And if y'all want to go out and, like I say, I have plenty of friends that do it.
With their families.
With their families, and they go over there and they make it work. But another part of it is just me personally not wanting to be over there, just so that makes my family.
If you guys don't know, Cory hates traveling.
Yeah, I don't really like to travel, so that's
vacation or anything. He hates traveling. So like any vacation we go on, he's literally going for the sake of the family.
I really don't like being. Well, I enjoy it while we're there if it's a vacation, but I really don't like being away. So that for me, on top of having my family there,
would make it even worse.
Yeah, in my head, it's like my family's thinking the same thing. Like I don't, even if they're not. In my head, my family's thinking I don't want to be here. So for me, that's like
something we could roll out. But
yeah, for me that's worse on me. But plenty of people see it differently. Plenty of couples see it differently. They handle it very well. Some women even love being away, like with their man if they're gone. Just exploring different parts of the world. So it really just depends on the situation.
Yeah. How did Cory learn how to be more communicative, even when he wasn't like that before? we mentioned it in the last video. So
we did. So this is kind of easy. I don't know. I can't remember if I said this on the last video, but it was easy for me with Twin because coming into it, I knew that she had potential to, well, we had potential to take it further. And like I said, with my friends, I really didn't tell them a lot because I just didn't feel like getting into that kind of conversation, or even like, okay, me personally, I don't feel like having conversations and talking about like, if something's going wrong with me, it doesn't do better to just, let's talk it out.
Can I give them an example?
Go ahead.
So when I met Cory, I met his friends for the first time, and they were like, he doesn't talk a lot. Like, you're not going to get much out of him. Like, we even found out when his sister passed away, we found out on Facebook, he didn't say anything to us. He was just acting as if nothing happened and basically dealing with it on his own. So that kind of worried me at first, but then I was also like, I'm not getting that type of feel from him because he actually communicates with me. But it's like, it was that level of like, I don't want to communicate. But to him, and now knowing him and his family, they don't like to burden other people with their stuff.
Right. So, me personally, like I said, with Twin, it was different because this is somebody that I was going to be around, that I felt I was going to be around literally every day.
And I told you I was an overthinker.
And she also said she was an overthinker. So, I wanted to make sure that she knew. As opposed to my friends, it was like, I don't want y'all to like have to feel that y'all have to reach out to me to help me feel better. And I feel that I've handled things. I wouldn't suggest it to everybody because I don't know. I feel like it works for me, but like I said, I'm not a counselor or a psychologist. I don't want everybody doing this. So, but for me, I haven't had any breakdowns while doing this, but I've been dealing with this the same way my whole life, of just like, I don't need anybody to like kind of feel bad for me, like, oh, I'm sorry for that and I'm here if you need me, which I really appreciate. Like, if I do tell you and you say, you know, you're here, but 9 times out of 10,
even when his mom passed, I had to ask him if it was okay to tell his friends.
Yeah, like 9 times. So with that, this will probably be the first time that anybody knows. Because I have a lot of siblings, and even my friends, if this is the first time, sorry. But I just felt the way of dealing with things, and I've had a lot of personal deaths in the family. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I feel like I don't want to keep coming to like people.
Like, this is happening.
Yeah, like this is happening, because that's like depressing just talking about that. Because honestly, I've lost a sister, I've lost a brother, I've lost my dad, I lost my mom, I've lost a niece, and even going through this, that's very depressing. Like, but I'm fine. I've handled it my way. Mm-hmm.
And even learning your mom and how she went out. Yeah, I was like, so this is why he's the way he is.
But yeah, so
she didn't even tell anybody.
My mom died of cancer. I found out. Well, we found out in like August.
We found out on a Thursday. We found out on a Thursday. She was gone by Tuesday.
We found out in August. One of my cousins that lived across the street from us when I was from back home, she lived across the street. My mom told her not to tell me, but it was like getting so bad that she had to tell me.
She said she's going to be pissed at me for telling you.
Yeah, so obviously I rushed home, and then my mom told me not to tell anybody else, but it got so bad that I had to tell my uncle, and I'm glad I'm dead, because then that's when everybody kind of got a chance to see her, but she was the type that wouldn't say anything.
She didn't want to bury anybody.
The day we got married, she went to go see my niece, because my niece had just had her kids, her twins. She went to go see them. They were in Memphis. So she drove all the way. Killeen. I was in, this was the day we got married.
Right, but
so
I'm saying she drove from Killeen.
Right, so she drove from Killeen to Memphis. We were getting married the exact same day. So we got married in Dallas. So she drove from Memphis after she saw that the twins were born and drove to Dallas just to watch us have our wedding. And at this whole time
she was making her rounds because she knew what was happening.
Yeah, so we never knew anything was going on. So we just handled things a different way, in the bottom line.
Yeah, I realized that, and I was just like, okay, so this is like in their blood. This is how they operate. This is how they handle stuff. This is how he watched his mom handle stuff. So that was it. Okay, to change the pace.
I see what you did there.
As a man, his mom's last name was Pace. As a man, how does it feel to be in love with a woman?
Not really.
This is a good question, y'all. I'm listening.
She says this. I'm not really sure how to answer this. Like, how does it feel to be in love with a woman?
How did you know you were in love with me?
That's completely different.
Answer the question. I wish I could see me behind the camera. I'm listening.
I'm not quite sure when the actual in love part. I know I had love for her early on, she's recording herself right now, so y'all was. But yeah, so having love and in love.
When did you know? Well, no, because you're not going to answer that question the way I want you to answer it, or the proper way.
So having love for her came very early, like even earlier than I expected. I remember getting off the phone with her one day and was about to say like, all right, I love you. Like just so casual. Don't know why.
It just came out.
But, it was too early, so I had to, had to cut that off, So I can't say that early. But actual in love with her, of course it was just time going by, spending time with her. What did it feel like, though? It felt weird, honestly, because it's like, ew, what is this? Like, I just met this girl. This is like after we spending like 4 days consecutively together, which is something that I like never did. And it was like actually wanting to see her, not like, oh, she's here, she's here on a flight, so she gotta stay these 3-4 days, so we're just stuck together. It was like, no, she's actually here. She's here. I saw her. We both left, went our separate ways, and then the next day it's like, hey, what's up? What you doing today?
He said, I'm in the area.
Yeah, so it was a genuine, like, I want to see her, not like, oh, we're like kind of stuck, so like, all right, what we doing today? But so it started off pretty early, and like I said, it felt weird because I wasn't used to that feeling, and I'll say weird, like not in a bad way, but it was just weird because I wasn't used to it. So that's my answer.
Okay. What is it that men really value and look for in women?
Coming from my perspective, I would say how they carry themselves. That is from even from the start. Let's just say from the start. Let's say we're in a big social media age, so we'll even just say from Instagram, because that's when I saw Twin for the first time. We'll say from Instagram, just how they carry themselves. Just even with the pictures, just if we're really talking about,
because that is a question. Someone said, how do you know if a woman is wifey material from Instagram?
Yeah, so I'll go from there. Just wifey material. Like you don't, not
your wife.
Specifically your wife or gonna be your wife, but wifey material is in the fact that, oh, I could see this that's at least being girlfriend, boyfriend, and then seeing where that goes. But wifey material, just how they carry themselves. If their pictures ain't, not all out there, everything looks like bathe. Excuse her. If her pictures, everything looks like bathing suits or lingerie, and just you don't even see her face in the picture. I'll leave it at that. But just from there, we get a mental pic of who it is and what we want out of the relationship. Whether it be, this is going to be my girlfriend, or somebody, like I said, this is just going to be...
Because he's saying that because my husband...
We're here for a good time, not a long time.
I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm just
So yeah, it just depends on that. And as far as, the wifey material, we're going to base our whole observation off of what's...
Because that's all you have to choose up, like, to look at.
And then even just in person, going off of that, I would say but I know I specifically, I will look at first, well, obviously, the face, the smile, the hair, I look at all that. Then the feet, see what your toes look like, see what kind of shoes you got on. And then, the rest.
What about personality traits? What do you look for?
Oh yeah, that's the next spot. Because of course you're not gonna see anybody for their personality first. You're gonna see their actual appearance.
Right.
So then,
that's honest.
Like I said, giving to you honest. So personality wise, I don't know. You just want somebody compatible. Everybody has like a different personality that they're into. Whether it be like a goofy, or want somebody more serious, or somebody with dark humor, whatever. But personality,
dark, nasty, inappropriate humor.
Inappropriate humor, whatever it is, it's gonna be as much as y'all. Well, some people might not want to hear it. Looks are gonna be first. Like that's gonna be what attracts people to you. Is the look, and it doesn't always have to be
a bad thing.
Like it's not a bad thing. It's even like it's your look. No matter what anybody else's look is that they're looking for, be yourself, because everybody has a different look. And if you're trying to like look like somebody else for somebody else, then that's not going to be you. So you're doing that, but your personality is not going to match up because you're already off rip not being you. So whatever your look is, just be you, and that person that's looking for that will find you. But after that, the personality wise, personality can go from 1 to 100, just depending on what's what. Twin can look as bad as she does, and then have like a completely different personality, and it's just like, we just don't mix. So, the personality wise, it can.
We are very monotone, low energy people who also like to be goofy and have fun on occasion, but we also like to relax. And it balances out, and when you're with the person.
That's the word. So if Twin was like
goofy
off the wall, goofy 24/7, like loud all the time,
wanting to go out everywhere every second.
Hey, let's go over here. Like, no. Even when I was outside, I would like to chill at times. Like, I didn't want to be turning up 24/7, like a full turn up. So if it's like that, then there are people that like that though. So don't change yourself. They'll find you.
Yeah. Has your marriage changed since you became a dad, or you guys became parents? And if so, what way?
I would say that our marriage changed. Obviously because we have kids, so they are our number one concern. Whatever is going on, they are our number one concern. And we're going to make sure that they're straight first. And at times it's like, okay, like I said, the kids will come first. So usually it's at the end of the day where me and Twin are like just spending time with each other. And that's when we'll finally go through, how are you feeling today? For me, asking her, how did campaigns go? How were the meetings? How was the time with the team? What happened with the team? What happened on this call? And for her asking me, like,
did you talk to
did I talk to my agents? What's going on with basketball now that I'm actually actively trying to get back into it?
How's the knee?
Yeah, how my body feeling? Just things like that. Just the communication at the end of the day. But for the most part of the day, the biggest change, before kids, we could do that any point of the day, or it could just be like, let's get out the house, let's go do this, let's go get some some drinks, let's just go sit down and talk, and we can have that conversation. But with kids come first. We'll make sure they're taken care of. Then at the end of the day, if she's not asleep, then we have that conversation. Usually,
because we do have our alone time first. Like when we put the kids down, he stays upstairs, gets in his man cave for a couple of hours, and then I come down, I'll watch movies, I'll like decompress or get in the tub, and then he comes down and we have our time together. And if I'm not asleep, that's when all this happens. Yeah, but we also do have date nights and things where we can like catch up and like, where are you at on this? What do you think about this? Stuff like that.
Right.
Next question is, this is from me. What are 3 things in terms of dating that you will teach your girls or tell your girls?
Oh, all right. Let's see. So number 1 that I will tell my girls is to be yourself. Like I said earlier, don't try to change up for anybody. Like, oh, I like him and he likes this type of girl. He likes this type of woman. No, don't do none of that. Be yourself. Stick to your principles, whatever that may be. I don't know. The third one is a little tough.
So be yourself. Stick to your principles and morals. What else?
Yeah, I don't know. The third one's, I don't know. I feel like the first 2 kind of cover everything.
Okay. You can only have 2.
I guess the third one would be let me talk to him. That's the third.
Okay. And then we'll do one more because the camera is about to die. Can a guy know that you're the one just upon meeting you?
All right, if we get down to the heart of it, I would say no. Because, of course, off of looks, there's that old love at first sight, which I don't believe in.
But when you love somebody, you love every part of them, even the stuff you don't like.
Right. But, once again, love at first sight, no. Because that's only the appearance. You got to get through a whole personality, a whole how are they on a day-to-day basis. Everything just goes into it. So, I would say no. But it's not impossible. I mean, it could just happen. Like I said, with Twin, it just happened. It just happened to be that she was fine. She had a great personality.
I was wet.
You heard her. She a stallion. Let's turn this camera off real quick.
You want me to come in the camera? Okay. What'd you say?
Like I said, with Twin, she was fine. She had the looks. She had the body. She had the personality. Her day-to-day was, it wasn't crazy.
I'm a working woman.
She's a working woman. But yeah, so her day-to-day, like, it was stuff that I could live with. But all of that just has to go into it. So I don't say, like, on the first time meeting somebody.
Because you don't know all that.
Yeah, you don't know all that the first time meeting somebody. So there's my answer.
One more question, because it's a lot of them. Why do men get married before they're ready? Pressure, huh?
I would say pressure. Generally speaking, because I personally am really against that. Because I say know everything that you should know up front. Like, don't wait till, the engagement or the marriage. I say
camera died, guys, so we're on the phone.
I say find out everything that you need to know up front. Don't wait until, y'all are engaged or married to find out that you like to keep it the air conditioning at like 68 and she likes to have it at 80.
It matters.
It definitely does, because this would not have worked. Or just the small things are usually like the worst things. So don't just wait to find that out.
But they usually get married early because of pressure.
Yeah, they usually get married early because of pressure. It was like, oh, that goes back even into like the ultimatum. Like either we get married by this date or it's done. So I guess it's a kind of a 50-50 thing. So thank you everybody for coming to my TED Talk. But no, thanks for having me on the segment. If y'all enjoyed this, tell her to bring me back. The boss.
Leave your questions down below if you guys have more questions that you want him to answer. I think the more that we get him on here, he's going to give us the real nitty gritty.
But yeah, so like she said, just leave your questions and maybe I'll have another segment later.
What's the closing?
I guess I never had a closing, huh? I guess follow your boy on Instagram. I don't really do the YouTube. So Instagram, CoryJ34. I don't have a TikTok, so follow my wife back there, JaLisaEVaughn. Follow her on Twitter. Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram.
All that. You said everything.
TikTok, all that. Follow her.
All right. Love you guys. Peace out.
Oh.